Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Steelers Fan TV. It's been a while since I did obviously a sit-down talking video, but I want to talk mainly about sort of the last weekend, this weekend, and obviously some sort of controversial things that have happened on the opening weekend of the IHL. Well, Challenge Cup really, but still comes in the same bracket. So, first of all, we'll talk about Steelers and the Panthers. So Saturday night, obviously, it was at 3-0 down. I was thinking, wow, is this really going to happen? Sort of the Panthers, are they actually going to beat us at home ice? With all the stuff I'd tweeted over the months on end about the Panthers and the Steelers and how the Steelers were going to batter them on the opening night. Obviously, they ultimately did, but they did it the hard way. And it got my heart going quite a lot because I did not want to vlog back into Twitter when we were 3-0 down. But obviously, we weathered the storm. Well, say storm, I'll do a quick breakdown of the game, really. I mean, first goal for the Panthers were a really well taken goal by Matheson. Obviously, he's got that in his locker. We saw it at the Steelers quite a few times. Second goal, just a very, very poor defensive mistake. Don't know what happened. Sort of goaltender Cantor just seemed to try and play it out, and then they just swept it in somehow. It took about 16 bobbles. Third goal was just a defensive mistake. I mean, short-handed goal to concede. It's always really a defensive mistake, isn't it? I mean, no one were closing down the person on the wing, and obviously he just played it across and he took it around the keeper, and then that's 3-0, and you're thinking, well, this is the opening night. Is this all we're going to be in for all season? Obviously, we fought back very, very well. Got it back to 3-3, and then they got the luckiest bounce off the boards I've ever seen and poked it in. And that's when you're thinking, is it going to be really our night? Because that's sort of two lucky goals they ended up getting that night. But then we just swept them aside towards the end and scored 5 unanswered goals. But that's the Steelers I was expecting to see all game, but I suppose it doesn't really happen like that. I mean, you have your patches as a team. So we'll talk about Sunday night. I don't really know much about Sunday night because obviously the Panthers don't have a webcast. I don't think they've even put any highlights out yet, I'm not sure. Unorganised club, But I haven't seen the goals. But obviously there is one incident to talk about within that, and it is the Brendan Connolly incident. Now, I don't want to bring this to light because at the end of the day, he's not got suspended yet, but we don't want him suspended. Obviously, at the time, I was tweeting that, it happens, it's hockey, because I thought it was just like a one stand-up punch, like one punch. That's like a few of the tweets I was seeing, but then when I got told it was sort of on the ice and he'd sort of hit the player's head on the ice, that kind of pushed my view towards the maybe he deserves something out of this, but obviously I don't want that. Being a Steelers fan, he's a good player, he's our first line attacker, but he definitely needs, well, in fact I'll leave that for this next section here. Now, what I want to talk about now is the Steelers' discipline. Steelers' discipline, it seems to be pretty poor, and the amount of penalty minutes that we are taking at the minute is really going to be costly. I mean, we saw it years ago. We saw it at the Cardiff Devils in the 16-17 season. Zach Fitzgerald always seemed to take a penalty in the last 5 or 10 minutes that was just blatant stupidity that then cost us on a couple of power plays. I think there were one that was like a 5-minute, and they scored about 3 times to make us lose the game in a winning position. And that's the sort of thing you've got to look back on and think, we don't need to do that sort of stuff. Like again, against Panthers the other day, I think it was a 2-1 game at one point, something like that. But next minute I look, it's a 5-1 game, at the end. And that's sort of when you've got to look at it as, how has this happened? You were 8-4 winners on Saturday, because 5-1 losers is a massive shift in difference there. And on the Sunday, I've been told by a lot of people that discipline was a key problem on the Sunday. away from home against the Panthers, your discipline has got to be strong, because it is a game that maybe tempers get up a little bit, because the players see it as kind of a rivalry. I mean, the players don't get often playing sort of rivalries and stuff like that. Now, to see the Panthers as a rivalry, yes, I understand tempers might be flaring, you might be hot in the head, but at the end of the day, it is a tough game because people can capitalise on power plays. I'm not sure if the Panthers did, because, again, there weren't much updates. I couldn't really see from Twitter, because every time I'm scrolling, loads of people tweeting about the game, and I couldn't really work much out from it. I just know we lost 5-1. But yeah, Steelers' discipline has got to improve. I mean, you're talking the likes of Connolly. Well, Connolly, obviously I've said it about Connolly multiple times before, that he needs to work just on his mentality. He's a good player, but he just seems to be let down by his sort of attributes that contribute towards him being a pain in the arse, effectively. He needs to control them, because if he doesn't, we're going to be done for. Throughout this season, if he continues to take penalties like he is, and going off like he is, then we're done for. I mean, I do like Connolly, because he's a good player. He's just got to improve on his attitude. He might have a good attitude, I don't know, but it doesn't seem to reflect that on the ice. I mean, you know. Oh well. Anyway, controversial moments, obviously, we've talked about one with the Brendan Connolly incident. Now I'm going to talk quickly about the Dundee and Glasgow incident. So from what I've seen, and I saw it yesterday, and people will have seen on Steeler Put, I literally just tweeted a blunt tweet saying, that's a check to the head. Now, looking at it multiple times, the player has obviously, puck's been rimmed around the boards, the player's about to play the puck, and once he plays the puck, someone comes in with the shoulder, but then seems to follow through with the elbow to the head. Now, say this happened like, get a bit stationary. Right, say the player is sort of here, he's about to play the puck, the referee is stood there, and the ref is looking right at it. Now, let's say the red player is a Dundee player because they played in red. So, he comes in, there's the shoulder contact, and there follows through the elbow. Now, the ref is stood, well, let's just say he's down at the minute. The ref stood here blowing his whistle, but the ref is looking right at that, and I'm not being funny here, but as an official, sometimes you can see things coming. Say a player is skating towards another player here really quickly, there's going to be some contact there, so the ref should prepare themselves for it. Now, obviously the ref didn't, and he was looking elsewhere. So, I don't see personally how the ref has missed this, because it happened right in front of him. It's not just me, is it, that thinks that is poor, because this referee, I'm not sure who it was, he could have been anticipating the fact that a hit was going to come in from the fast skating player from over here. And obviously it has come in, and there's been a collision, and he's now down on the floor concussed. Now, he was concussed before he was knocked out before he was hit. He hit the ice. Now, as a referee in another sport, if that happens, well, first of all, obviously you stop play like the ref did, but there are things you can do to prevent it happening. I mean, literally, a player is skating so fast over here, and the ref is stood there, looking to play like that. The player stood like there. So he can see that coming in. I don't know whether the ref's eye line changed and he was following the play. That's another possible reason, because obviously if the puck has been played, he's then gone, and then he's there, and then someone's on the ice there. So that's what you've sort of got to think. I'm no expert with officials, but as I see it, I think the ref should be calling that. Obviously, one of the last things I'm actually going to talk about is sort of the Zach Fitzgerald interview. Now, as you know, people who follow me on Twitter, I am not sort of a person that gets easily annoyed. I sort of let it slide. I don't really bring to light things that make me annoyed, because people will be like, why is this making you annoyed? And then there's an whole of an argument starting, which I can't really be bothered to deal with. And this Zach Fitzgerald interview, right, I understand he's annoyed. I fully understand he's annoyed, because I'd be annoyed. If that happened to one of my players, I'd be annoyed. But to go into the afterwards interview to sort of speak to the camera, he didn't even look directly into the camera. Now, he was giving basically snappy interviews, sort of ask us a question and he'll go, yeah, well, like that. That was one of the answers, I'm pretty sure. And personally for me, with Fitzgerald actually being a very new coach, well, I say very new, he's obviously had a bit of experience in the past, but this is his first proper sort of managerial job, as it was. He just needs a bit more discipline after the game. Now, speaking to obviously the interviewer, when he was speaking to him, the interviewer asked questions, obviously intending Fitzgerald to answer fully, but Fitzgerald just didn't seem to want to comply, so was giving these short, quick, snappy, annoying responses. Now, I brought it to light and put, this is crap from Fitzgerald. It's not the interviewer's fault, and basically needs to curb sort of his mentality towards it. Now, some people agreed with me, some people disagreed. Obviously, Fitzgerald released a statement. I saw it, but then I tweeted as well. Because, yeah, he apologised for it. And obviously people like Fitzgerald. But, as I was saying earlier in the video, his discipline on the ice a couple of years ago was pants. Because in the last few minutes of the game, he'd take a penalty. He'd just take penalties. He'd take stupid penalties. He got quite a few. I think he missed about 11 or 12 games of that season because he got banned. But obviously, as a coach now, you've got to sort of flip that attitude. I don't want to be teaching bloody grandma to suck eggs here. But, you know, you've just got to curb the attitude towards managing. Managing is different to playing. It is just very different. I'm sure people will agree with me on that, but I just think what I hope to see from Fitzgerald, because I honestly hope he does well for Glasgow, because he is a good guy. But I just think he needs to work on his interviews. Yes, if you get annoyed in the game, just let it be in the game. Sort of after the game, sort of fresh ahead, go into that interview and sort of show your worth, show you the bigger person. But that's all I'll sort of say on that. And that's all I'll say for this video, because it's only a short one, really. I'll do a quick look ahead to Saturday. Obviously, Coventry Blaze home and away again. Obviously, Coventry Blaze, they are not looking fantastic, if that's a way to put it. Beat Manchester Storm. I'm sure they lost to the Panthers twice. So I think Coventry will be sort of. I don't think they'll be as low down as they have been in previous seasons, but I do think they will struggle again. There's only 2 teams in there that don't get playoffs this season, so I reckon 6 or 7 for Coventry this season. So it'll be an interesting test for Steelers, really, opening day of the IHL actual season, and I can just hope that we get 4 points. It should be a 4 points, but obviously knowing the Steelers, that is different. The Steelers sometimes don't like doing what we expect of them. So, right, I'll leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, leave a like. And I'll see you in the next video, hopefully. Going to be next Wednesday. See you later.